On May 18, 1966, the Duisburg Water Police received a strange call. Two ships, named Brad Albrecht and Willy Detlef, want to have a whale. And not just any whale, but a white whale. You know, just like in the novel Moby Dick. And here in the Rhine. White whales, or belugas as they are also called, are usually found in Arctic and subarctic waters. But above all on the coasts of Alaska, Canada, and Russia. So it is no wonder that the Duisburg Water Police initially suspects that the two gentlemen are not quite in the right minds and promptly order a blood transfusion. Due to suspicion of alcohol consumption. But after the test results came back negative, they follow the trail. And contrary to all expectations, they discover a white whale in the Rhine. We are here in Duisburg, which is about 300 kilometers to the sea. And normally thousands of kilometers away from their usual habitat, the Arctic waters. Later, press reports were to be announced that the whale was originally to be brought in an English train. However, on the way, the transport ship crashed into a heavy hurricane, which almost choked the ship. Fortunately, this accident could be avoided. But what could not be avoided was that the whale was washed into the sea shortly before reaching the English coast thanks to the hurricane. From there, the whale found its way across the Rotterdam port into the Rhine. When Wolfgang Gewalt, the director of the Duisburg Zoo, who would only see the unusual guest train gliders in his area, had a whale fever. Reporters changed helicopters and airships to observe the spectacle up close. Whale catchers from the shore sped through the binoculars to thousands, while amateur photographers stood ready to shoot up to their stomachs. Meanwhile, Gewalt took up the chase. He threw the whale close to the heels on the fast boat. The whale, which at this point was already named after the protagonist of Herman Melville's literature classic. While Gewalt first went on whale hunting with a net of tennis, he tried to become a master of the animal with a long-range stun gun filled with stun agents. He hit twice, but this made the biting whale only noticeably more powerful. His monkey keeper Franz Schrunk sat down with an arrow arch ready to mark the whale with a buoy. He didn't hit, but a sniper, who attached the marking buoy to the whale with a shot under the skin, did. Activists tried to distract from this by throwing orange nines from an airship. In general, the appearance of Moby Dick will be seen as the beginning of the animal protection and wildlife protection movement in Germany. Because by betting on regular tables and the exit of the hunt, or even in farm rules like, is the whale in the Rhine? Is the weather fine? Moby Dick grew dear to the people. Especially since the hunt began to escalate more and more. River pioneers of the Bundeswehr were caught with 3 landing boats and 2 fast boats behind the animal. Followed closely by the water police and the Rhine Fire Brigade. Meanwhile, the dolphin expert who had traveled from Switzerland, James Tibor Moby Dick, with Indian catching methods, such as so-called ropes or fence arrows, to catch. Our Dutch neighbors watched the spectacle of the German massacre and banned the whale catch in their waters, should Moby Dick happen. The director of the dolphin station there spoke of barbaric hunting methods of the Germans. Despite the whole offer, the white beluga escaped his pursuers again and again, just like his novel role model, Captain Ahab. Sometimes he dives in an inventory, sometimes he also catches full force ahead. At first he turned to the sea, but he stopped exactly at an extra closed lock for him in the Netherlands and swam back up the Rhine. Accompanied by showmen, he swam all the way to Bonn and even held a press conference in the then capital of West Germany. Only shortly before Walensek he turned around and was last seen in Rotterdam on June 16, 1842, at the open sea.